friends, I'm Anita Kejriwal and I am doing a short video tutorial on a shabby chic scrapbook layout for the DCAM challenges blog, and the supplies from this for this scrapbook layout has been from Die Cuts and More, a craft store run by Mansi Gupta Sharma, and it's a fabulous store which stores all the craft supplies and from the best brands of the world. So let's begin with the scrapbook layout. For first, as a theme of this month's challenge is shabby chic, let me first tell you what shabby chic exactly means. Now I've done a lot of surfing on the net, and what I've gathered from the term shabby chic is that, as the name depicts, shabby chic it's a little worn out or distressed form of art or style, and it incorporates a lot of Victorian elements. The colors which are used are mostly dull pink or very subtle shades of brown, and you can incorporate little blues and very pale yellows, and it has a subtle old English style cottage, English cottage style. And so we see a lot of frills and laces and trims and all these in this. The paper which I'm going to use is the Ledger paper pad from Prima. This is a beautiful paper pad which has got papers which has got slightly distressed look. Plus I will be using the Romance Novel Prima collection 6x6, which also has these old age type paper looks. As you can see, the papers are highly distressed here and has a worn out look. I'll be needing a lot of supplies for my scrapbook layout, and before that let me tell you about the supplies, because I've done a lot of homework before I begin the layout, and it is very important to have a very good base for your layout. For this I use a chipboard supplied from Die Cuts and More. It's a fantastic solid strong chipboard. Plus I'll be using the first layer which I have cut with the Martha Stewart punches and have distressed the edges. As you can see, I have given a toned look around the edges with the Tim Holtz distresser. It's a lovely tool to give rough worn out edges to your paper. This is the second layer. This is also a shabby chic color, very dull pink. What I've done is I have randomly cut around the paper and distressed it little bit, and then just turn the edges inwards. Next, what I'm doing is I've taken from the Ledger pad a little piece of paper, and I've also torn and distressed the edges with aged mahogany or Victorian velvet, whatever your choice is. Next, what I have done is taken photo mats. This is from the Prima novel, Romance Novel paper pad, and then I've added little polka dots, which is another style of shabby chic. The stamps which I'm going to use is the antique background from Hero Arts and the Friend Definition. These both background stamps are fabulous for the shabby chic style. And then the stencils which I'm going to use is the brick stencil from the Crafters Workshop template. It's one of the favorite stencils. Please excuse the dirty look. And I think the damask stencil from Prima. I think that's what it is called. If I'm wrong, I think I've forgotten the name. I think it is damask. Then we'll be using some doilies and some lace trims. I always like to keep little extra because I never know where I'm going to put those little trims and laces. It is always better to keep few things extra. Then these are beautiful Prima embellishments and the chipboards, laser cut die cuts. Now these laser die cuts from MDF, I have distressed it, first colored it with gesso and then distressed it with tea dye and Victorian velvet distress ink. It's better to do all this homework beforehand so that you have your things ready. Now these are a few punch cutouts from crochet lace Martha Stewart punches. These also have crumpled. These are the distress inks which I have used: tea dye, antique linen, brushed corduroy, aged mahogany and Victorian velvet. These are all earth tones, very dull shades of, and some buttons, vintage style buttons and eyelets. Now I'm going to use a maroon color chipboard to give a dark shade background. First, with the white adhesive, let me add the first layer, and then I am giving a little tone edge for the second layer. This is how I go about it. Just stir a little bit, and with your distress applicator, turn the two edges inwards. You just have to pull the paper inwards with the distress applicator. Just go on distressing so that even the back portion of your paper looks distressed and has color on it. Just roll it in very nicely, roll it inside. You can do these on 2 sides or 3 sides or on 4 sides as you wish. This is being done to add little laces, trims or doily peekaboos which show from the back of the layers. I'm doing it on the 4 sides, and now after applying adhesive, let me put it back on the chipboard. This is my second layer which is being done. Now what I'm going to do now is apply some doily trims at the back of the torn edges which I have made. There I put the doily trims. Now let's put another layer, and that is the distressed Prima Ledger paper pad layer. Here also I'm turning one of the edges and then merging it with the torn edge at the below and distressing it with tea dye. Let's do some stamping to merge the background with the ledger paper which I have used. I'm using the Friends Definition Hero Alps background and the antique background stamp here. Just you have to stamp randomly here and there so that there is balance throughout your layout. Now with the modeling paste, I like to use fingers for my modeling paste. Just randomly do some masking with the stencil. It gives little textured effect on your layout. Now let's put some lace trim ribbons or punched cutouts. Randomly place where you want to. The photo mats. These also I have distressed the edges with the distresser. After that, let's start putting our MDF laser die cuts. Before that, let me put a little lace trim. It all depends upon you which trim you are going to use. You can use frills, tools, net, scalloped laces, whatever your heart desires. Sorry, now comes the photo mat. Just try placing it in a manner so that it doesn't cover the entire masking which you have done with the brick template. As a part of it should show, actually whatever you are doing on the scrapbook layout, a bit of it should show on the entire thing when your project is complete. There should be balance in all the layering and steps which you are doing. Now we begin with the MDF laser die cuts. For this I'll be using my glossy accents for the pasting. Now this is another wonderful adhesive which I love, and it gives a very strong bonding to all the embellishments or flowers or MDF which I use, and it's quite quick drying, so you need not bother about whether it will dry quickly or not. They have started putting my MDF laser die cuts. That's the first window which goes on the right side. Even that die cut I'll be using for the photograph. So there, in a way, I've created 3 frames for my photographs. There's a flourish which I'll be putting at the extreme right on the window die cut. Then take another one. This is a film strip die. This is also a beautiful piece of die cut. Gives a quite old film type look to the layout. You can even add a dark brown paper at the back to give that film reel effect. Then there are few more flourishes which I'll be placing at the bottom. As you can see that whenever I'm placing the embellishments, they are not randomly placed here and there, and there is a continuity between each embellishment. Like you will find that each of them are as if they're continuing from each other. So that should be kept in mind whenever you are making a layout. The embellishments or the papers or the photo mats should not be placed just randomly here and there. There should be continuity between each element. This is another piece of die cut for which usually I use it as labels. I've placed just a scrap piece of paper at the back. And on that I will be putting treasured memories sentiment. I plan to use this for my children, so that is why the memories are treasured. This is a flourish corner which I'll be placing in the 2 corners. You should also make it a point whenever you are making a layout that not all elements are placed on one side, which becomes very becomes very imbalanced. Like becomes one side becomes very heavy. The embellishments should be spread throughout your layout. Now this is one wonderful mannequin dress form which I have covered it with little net, lacy net and a few laces, and then I have used hot glue to cover it. I have not painted it with gesso. I have just left it brown in color. There, that mannequin is set. And now comes the Prima raisin embellishments. Now these are beautiful. I just fell in love with these. Thanks Mansi for sending them to me. Let's place these embellishments on the layout. For these also I'm using the glossy accents to stick them on the layout. I have not colored them or distressed these embellishments. These I have kept the way they are in the original color to give that soft white Victorian characteristic to the layout. And that is why I'm using this angel for that Victorian look. Place the angel on top of, as if the angel is sitting on top of the pillar. And there I will be putting my son's photograph. So this side is for the mannequin is for my daughter, and that side the angel is for my son. If any modeling paste is showing from behind the MDF die cut, you can always rub it off with your finger. I love using my fingers for masking and stenciling. It gives a rather smooth effect. And there comes this tiny house, which is also another favorite of mine. And there too I'll be placing in one corner underneath the pillar. Now I'm using the flowers. I've already made the bunch of flowers. These are all mulberry flowers which I have bunched them together. You can also place them individually if you want to, but it is better to make the arrangement first. In that way you will not be just fiddling with the flowers, and you will know instant how the flowers will fall on your layout. And then you can always twist and turn each flower to give a more balanced look. I've also stuck the flowers with the glossy accents. Just place a few flowers here and there so that just the bottom of the layout does not look very heavy. I think I'm going to place a few flowers near the dress form also. One or two flowers need tucking in. It all depends upon you what is the color of the flowers, but I like to use a little bit of reds in between to brighten my layout. Just few flowers near the dress form also gives a rather feminine look. As you see, the colors of the flowers which I have chosen are very pale yellow, dull pinks, white, and few flowers at the top, which will make my layout complete and not very lopsided just by placing the flowers at the bottom. Just few at the top, not lots. But you should always keep a few flowers in handy, because you never know where you might find an empty space and then those flowers will go in there. So I always advise people who before that they begin their layouts, always keep few embellishments, paper strips, laces, etc. extra with you, so that you are not short of them whenever you are sitting with the project. Shabby chic layout is just building up layers and layers and layers, and it all depends upon how heavy you want to make your scrapbook layout. Now these are some vines, and these are my favorite. I like to put them in all my projects. These two I am attaching with the glossy accents, just two at the bottom and two on the side. As you can see, I am stressing this point again, that there is a continuity between each and every element which I have placed on my layout. It is not as if they have been randomly placed here and there. Thanks for watching the video.